Giving you that nice close-up here, really convenient to be able to clearly see everything for future expansion or to swap out parts and components, whatever we want to do. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Corsair RM1200x Shift power supply. I did receive this sample to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. This power supply does come in multiple versions. 850 watt, 1000 watt, and the 1200 watt version that you see right here. They all have the unique shift to your connection and hookups, so they're going to be right on the side for you. That's really innovative, and I'm excited to build with this power supply. ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5.0 support up to 600 watts, 10-year warranty. This is 80 plus gold certified. Additional tech specs on the back for you right here in the box. You'll see we have our 0 RPM fan mode, nice breakout images of the product with its dimensions and specs. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our safety information, followed by zip ties and screws. We have our power cord and cable and all of our additional power cables right here. Lastly, we have the power supply unit itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at that in more detail. On the side of the unit, you'll notice we have the Corsair logo and branding, the RM1200x Shift branding. Then we can look at the back side where we traditionally would have all of our connection options and hookups right here. We have nothing on this side, just a flat metal panel with 2 screws at the bottom with a warning sticker on one of them. Then shifting it around, see what I did there? We have all of our connection options here clearly labeled for us, and a friendly reminder that this is designed for use with genuine Corsair Type 5 cable sets only. Backside, toggle on and off switch, Corsair's logo, power cord connection. Then on this side, we have our product sticker with additional information and specs here. This is 1200 watts. And flipping it around, you'll notice we have our 140 millimeter fan with Corsair's logo and branding. And a friendly reminder letting us know that this has that 0 RPM mode, so silent operation at low to moderate loads. In this mode, the fan will not spin, so don't freak out. Nothing's wrong with your unit. That is operating normal. That's going to help keep noise levels down for you. Before installing the power supply, I thought we'd get a quick readout here using our Dr. Power 2 to check some of the voltages. From my limited understanding, you'll notice as soon as we test the 24-pin cable connection for our motherboard, we will get a beeping noise and a red screen for our negative 12 volt value. That's signifying that it's being underpowered, but from my understanding, it doesn't appear that this unit or really any modern day power supply unit even supports or powers that. So that would make sense why it's doing that, but we want to look at the other values to see how everything is operating and if it's in range of what it should be. So let's go ahead, let's just jump right in. Here we go. And sure enough, 5 volt, we're showing 5 volts. 12 volt, we're showing 11.9. 3.3 volt, we're showing 3.2. There's our negative 12 volt. Again, the value is F. So keep that in mind. I don't believe nothing I could find even shows that on the charts or diagrams for this unit. So from my understanding, again, just disregard that. 5 volt SB right there for standby. We're right at 5. And our power good score is showing up as 207 milliseconds. You want to be within 100 and 500, not any lower or any higher than those ranges. So let's go to our next item, our PCI 11.8. Looking good there for our voltage. And then our CPU 11.9. Again, that's going to be well within range. All right, so we have our power supply installed in our PC. Check it out. You'll notice that everything's running as you would expect. Let's turn it around now, and we're going to take off that back cover so you can get a feel for how everything looks in here. Ta-da! There we go. We have all of our connections easily accessible right here for any sort of future upgrades or things like that. Let's go ahead, let's look at this in more detail up close. Giving you that nice close-up here, really convenient to be able to clearly see everything for future expansion or to swap out parts and components, whatever we want to do. We have that luxury. Now keep in mind for this particular case, this is the height Y40. I think a power supply like this is a good idea because we have that fan in there, and a lot of times your cables will stick out, block airflow, things like that, especially when it's a case like this with our panoramic glass panels where airflow is going to be a luxury here. You want to make sure that everything can be up and running. You'll notice the gap we'd have versus a traditional power supply, which I've had in here without any issues, but this is nice if you want everything off to the side. And they leave you enough room here that we haven't had any issues with the panel being on the back. But friendly reminder, if you plan to really max this out in a case like this, or whatever case you're choosing for this power supply, make sure now you have enough room this side of things that you'll be able to plug and route your cables accordingly. Now let's talk about the GPU. So they do include one 12-pin cable if you want to take advantage of the connector, maybe on your 3000 series GPU, that's a Founders Edition card, or maybe of a 4000 series NVIDIA GPU. We have the MSI 3070 Ti, so we do not have the 12-pin connector, but I do want to mention that cable is included for you right here, and it supports up to 600 watt TDP. So overall, this Corsair power supply works great. You will be paying a premium for that shift feature, so make sure you actually need it as you spec out your build. If you don't, go ahead, save your money, buy just a regular Corsair power supply, or choose a different brand. You get the idea. But you'll probably be buying this one because of your build and how you want to configure it, and you'll appreciate having that shift feature. Also, this does have a 10-year warranty, so if you're worried about quality, you can expect this to last for a long time because you know that Corsair does. And I would argue after 10 years, does it really matter anymore beyond that point? Because with the way technology changes, you probably won't be using any of the parts and components in your build after a decade.